Groves, of course, remember, felt he was stopped too soon in that first fight with Carl Froch. The referee that night, Howard Foster. The referee tonight, Howard Foster. And the Groves camp complained about that. That complaint slung out.
Ladies and gentlemen, Matchroom Sport, in association with Warrior Boxing Promotions, proudly present 12 rounds of boxing for the vacant WBA International Super Middleweight Championship. Sponsored here by William Hill, StubHub, JD Sports and Texo Scaffolding. We are live on Sky Sports Box Office, and we bring you the very best ringside seat in the business. And a very special welcome to the millions of viewers joining us around the world on Showtime. All the officials have been appointed by the WBA in association with the British Boxing Board of Control. Our supervisor is Mr. Robert Smith. Our representative is Mick Collier. Timekeeper at the bell is Michael McCann. And our all-important inspectors working the red and blue corner are Steve Larman and Alan Spelling. Our three scoring judges from around the world on the 10-point must system. From Birmingham, Terry O'Connor. From Puerto Rico, Cesar Ramos. And from Panama, David Singh. When the bell rings and the action begins, the man in the middle, the man in charge, from Doncaster, England, Mr. Howard Foster. And now, ladies and gentlemen, one more time, away we go. Introducing to you the challengers. Fighting out of the red corner, wearing the grey trunks trimmed with red and white. Weighed in at 11 stone, 13 pounds, 8 ounces with a 17-fight record, 16 wins, 1 inside the scheduled distance, and only 1 draw. He remains undefeated from Cork, Scotland, David Ladies and gentlemen, welcome home to London. He's fighting out of the blue corner, wearing the black trunks trimmed with white. Weighed in at 11 stone, 13 pounds, 2 ounces with a 25-fight record, 22 wins, 17 inside the scheduled distance, and just 3 defeats. He's a 3-time world title challenger, the winner of the British and Commonwealth Championship, the former undefeated European champion. Ladies and gentlemen, from Hammersmith, London, England, St. John. And finally, 12 rounds of boxing for the vacant WBA International Super Middleweight Championship.
Okay, fellas, spoke to you both in the dressing room. You both know I expect. Keep it clean, break straight away when told. Both of you watch your heads in close. Good luck to you both. Touch gloves. Good luck, lads.
Yeah, as you heard there, scheduled for 12 rounds. A routine tune-up on the way to another world title for George Groves, or a potential banana skin against a young man from Scotland who's got a lot of self-belief. Round 1 then. Groves in the black. Brophy in the grey with the red trim. The feeling in the Brophy camp is take it long, get it into the later rounds, try and avoid those big right hands that Groves can land so brilliantly. And one key, the battle of the jabs, because Groves has a terrific jab as well. If he's allowed to dominate with that jab, it's going to be very difficult for Brophy to do much about it. Big step up for Brophy as well. How does he cope with this pressure?
Yeah, it is for Brophy, and there's not a great deal of head movement. He's just relying on the gloves up in front of his face. Needs to just loosen up a little bit. Looks very tight around the shoulders. It's a big occasion for Brophy. Groves, he's used to this. He's been here in this sort of occasion many times. So he'll have settled.
This atmosphere won't bother Groves at all, as you say. He's been on bigger stages than this. It's a massive step up, though, for Brophy in the spotlight. How does he cope? How does he settle down? Done a lot of sparring with Callum Smith over the last few months, Brophy. He's been brought in as a regular sparring partner for Callum. They rate him in that camp, but some of those Groves jabs are bursting through and penetrating the defences of the Scotsman. And there's a big right hand, and the first one that lands has an effect. Brophy looks to try and cover up on the ropes. Groves still has that power in the right hand, and Brophy still feeling the effects of this. Needs to do something about this, because Foster is having a good look already. And now Brophy finds a right hand, but Groves knows that he can hurt this man.
Yeah, that was a big right hand, really stung him, didn't it? He just went solid of his feet. Covered up well, though. But Groves found a way through very early on.
I think it's safe to say David Brophy has not been hit as hard as that in his career. And still those jabs are getting through from Groves, who is comfortable and composed and just looking to uncork that right hand whenever he can. No sign of a banana skin here at the moment. Groves just picking his shots pretty much at will, as he did last time we saw him at the end of January. Got through Andrea De Luisa in 5 rounds, started slowly at his own pace, picked it up, got the stoppage.
Get the fair right hand there from Brophy that got through, just seemed to shudder the legs a little bit of Groves. So he's got a bit of power there himself. That's what he needed to come back in this round.
Well, the first time George Groves threw his trademark right hand over the top, look at the effect it had on David Brophy.
Yeah, the left hand was good as well. That really steadied him up when he threw that one there. That one just steadied him in the right work.
But he survived the crisis, as you say. Glenn landed a decent little right hand of his own. But Brophy just one stoppage in his career thus far. It would be a major upset if he could pull off a second here. Groves comfortable and relaxed in that opening session.
Brophy will be looking to, take a few punches on the glove, just get a few rounds under his belt, just to take some of the sting out of the punches of Groves before he goes to work. That's what he looks like he's intent on doing.
Landed a decent jab of his own there as well, Brophy. And that is exactly the game plan, as you say, Glenn. They feel if they're going to win this fight, it will be by taking over in the second half, Groves. Whilst he's had decent 12-round battles, like Badou Jack, although he dipped a bit there in the middle. And particularly against Christopher Abrasse. He showed he's got an engine then, but people do say he fades, that he's great for 6 rounds, then starts to tail off. And the feeling is in the Brophy camp, get him late, they might just be able to spring a shot.
Well, especially if he's maybe just slightly took it a little bit easy, as rumours about his weight might suggest. Just thinking he has to drop down to domestic level, this might be very easy. And so Brophy will be looking just to cover up, get into the fight a little bit, take the sting out of the punches, and then put the pressure on Leighton on. Use his fitness. He looked very well prepared.
He's really struggling with this jab, though, Brophy. Pretty badly marked up under the right eye already. Trying to stay smart here, trying to stay out of range, but he's accurate and he's hurtful, Groves. A nice little body shot that he put in there. Got caught with an uppercut, though. I think once Groves realised he wasn't going to get the referee changed, he got his head around it and just dealt with it. It would have been very unprofessional to do anything else.
So that jab from Groves being the dominant punch, looks to get a right hand on, fall short.
That was a nice left that he threw there as well, Groves. Throwing good quality punches here. Well, Brophy will be thinking, well, I didn't get wobbled in this round. I've got through 2, but he's not setting a very fast pace. And at the moment, Groves is just comfortably jogging through these early rounds. Brophy's going to have to up the tempo a little bit. Adam Booth, one-time trainer of George Groves, one-time trainer of David Hay as well. An interested spectator here this evening. Been through his trainers a bit, hasn't he? Paddy Fitzpatrick was the man who replaced Adam Booth. He was jettisoned after the Badou Jack defeat. Shane McGuigan in the ejector seat at the moment. Round 3 of this 12-rounder. It's too easy and comfortable for Groves at the moment, isn't it, Glenn? Brophy's got to do something just to at least up the tempo, if nothing else. Yeah, I think, you know, he's just relying on waiting for the later rounds. I think he doesn't want to commit himself too much when Groves is fresh and when he's sharp and when he can come back with a big punch. So he's wanting to just, you know, take them on the gloves, try and get through a few rounds. That's what it looks like his plan is. But I'd like to see a little more head movement rather than just relying on trying to block them with his hands, because they are getting through still. And that mark under the right eye has now developed into a cut. Because he can only capitalise on the later rounds if he's taken something out of the Groves tank, and that he's not doing at the moment. No, and Groves throws a very solid jab. He hasn't got his feet as wide apart as he had last time. He's getting a little bit more into his punches. I think he's trying to sit down and get some power into them. Brophy swinging but missing, but showing some aggression. Well, that mark under the right eye developed very early in this fight, and it's those raking jabs of Groves that's just opened up the cut. But too comfortable in there, Groves, at the moment. This is exactly the pace he wants, picking the shots pretty much as he wants. He's not getting out of the way of anything, is he, Brophy? And that's a problem because he's having to soak it all up. To be a footballer when he was younger. His father, John, played for Airdrie. He was on the books of Dundee United. Had a leg injury followed by a leg break. Ended that. Went into Billy Nelson's gym. Worked at the game. Was a training partner with Ricky Burns. Talk about good experience as Groves manages to catch him there as soon as it opened up. And that right eye is starting to look really bad for Brophy. I mean, it's closing now. Yeah, and that's where the danger looks. When Brophy starts to open up and wants to trade run, that's when he leaves himself open, and that's when Groves is the danger. Complaint there from Brophy, but Groves not interested and continuing to pick hurtful looking shots. Again, Brophy swinging, not missing. It's a frustrating night this for the underdog so far.
You're just at a range, that's all. Okay. Breaking him up. Finish that.
Well, apart from that right hand that Brophy landed, I think, in the second round, he's had very little success, the Scotsman. Yeah, very little at all, and it's painful for him in there. He's getting hit through the gloves with very solid punches. He's not coming back with anything of any note to calm Groves down a little bit. So he needs to find something just to upset Groves with. Tries there, but misses. And that's not good enough. It's a big step for Brophy, though. You know, he's done well, brave enough to take it. Well done to him for that. Earned his shot as well. But at the moment, He is second best in this one, round 4 of this 12-rounder at super middleweight. Arthur Abraham, the WBO champion, on the road. It's a rare road trip for Arthur. James DeGale in action at the end of the month in Washington, D.C. We'll be there for that one. Badou Jack also defending against Lucian Bute, the WBC champion. And Felix Sturm, one of the 2 WBA champions, and now Brophy is tagged, and he is feeling this, and he may struggle to get up from this. He's in big, big trouble. And he's waved off. Too easy for Groves. It looked a huge step up for David Brophy. That's how it's turned out. No banana skin at the O2 tonight.
Yeah, Groves shows he's far too good for that sort of level.
And it's a very sore and unhappy David Brophy that goes back to his stool. In contrast, all smiles here. Weight problems? What weight problems?
Yeah, very comfortable win. Looked very heavy-handed, didn't he? Good jab, solid, right through the middle. But, you know, when he's boxed it, you know, he holds wins over Paul Smith, James DeGale. You know, he's boxed it at a very high level.
Straight in the solar plexus, that right hand. And that took everything.
Yeah, as I say, very heavy-handed. He was taking a pound and tried to get up, but he's never going to make it, never going to be able to fight on. Throws the jab, the right hand, just shoots under near the liver. Hard, punishing blow, but I think also the punches that he took before that, the solid jabs, the right hand early on, you know, he knew right from the start with that high-held guard that it was all about defense. You know, and it was going to be a tough night for him. And I think, you know, George Groves, he's world class, and that's where we need to see him.
Ladies and gentlemen, timekeeper Michael McCann has recorded a time of 47 seconds of the 4th round on a countout. Your winner and the new WBA International Super Middleweight Champion from Hammersmith, London, England, St. George.
There was some who said George Groves was washed up when he lost to Badou Jack last September. Don't believe a word of it. 2 fights since, 2 good wins. Continuing to rebuild and have yet another shot at a world title. Still got the belief, still got the dream. Speaking of dreams, well, it's Anthony Joshua up next, and a nation dreaming of another world champion. Celebs in the house include big boxing fan Jake Wood there, Shannon Briggs, of course, Jamie Redknapp, Jack Whitehall, Big Frank. Just listen to that reception. Might not be quite so warm for Kieran Dyer and Jermaine Genus. Stormzy, the rapper, they're all in the building. Plenty of other legendary boxers, past and present, here as well. George Groves, not sure he even broke a sweat there. Be interesting to see what his plans are for the future, whether he's ready to go back up to world level right now, or whether he feels he needs to make another step. Either way, it was a good night's work for George. Let's hear from him with Andy.
George, congratulations, a stoppage victory against a previously unbeaten domestic rival. How happy are you with that performance?
Very happy. You know, David Brophy's unbeaten. We didn't know how good he was going to be, so prepared as best I could. Everything that we wanted to happen happened. You know, always been great with my jab. You know, always been great with my jab. Anyone who has to fight me, they're up against it from the get-go, because if we was playing chess, I'm taking their queen straight away with the jab, and then they got to battle on from there, and it's just up to me to hold it together and piece together the rest of the puzzle. Today, worked the head and body well, hurt Brophy in the first round, but, you know, he showed guts, He showed his strength. There's no way I was going to become reckless, so I stuck with the game plan. I didn't take any real clean shots. Feel great, and then stop the guy with a body shot. I think it was even a jab to the stomach. Just shows you the power that I'm now carrying, now working with Shane.
Turns out that you're a level above David Brophy. Do you need tougher tests, or are you ready in your own mind to go straight back in at world level, fringe world level, or for a world title now?
100%, you know. Everyone likes to talk about me these days as if I'm a past his best fighter, a fading fighter. And all those people saying that obviously have an agenda. They're either back in another camp, or maybe I've pulled them on a few things before in the past. But I'm only getting better. You know, I spent 2 years training with someone who couldn't bring the best out of me. And to many of the casual fans, they would have seen me regress. But I made a lot of improvements in that time. It's just now working with Shane, you're going to see those improvements, but me boxing at my very best, the best possible style that I can bring. I'll fight anyone, absolutely anyone. I mean, they're talking about me fighting Martin Murray, Callum Smith. Of course, any day of the week, you know. I truly believe in myself. I know I'll beat those guys, and I know it'll be an atmosphere like this if it was a fight like that. So everyone wants to get behind that fight. I totally understand. You know, I want to get my teeth stuck into something. You know, I wasn't looking past Brophy this weekend, but that was a quick job. I'm going to have a few days off, might eat a delayed Easter egg or two, and then, you know, I'm back to work, and we're looking for a big fight. So hopefully something can get done. You know, I'll be meeting and having a chat with Shane, you know, in the next few days. My promoters, the Sauerland brothers. I'd like to wish my stablemate, Arthur Abraham, the best of luck tonight, as well as obviously all the fighters on here tonight. So there's a lot of opportunities out there for me to go on and challenge for the major belts. For me, it's got to come sooner rather than later.
Well done.